Hello, this is Brian Casey of the Imaging Wire. We are here at ECR 2026, the annual meeting of the European Society of Radiology, and we have with us today Umar Ahmed of market research firm Signify Research, and Umar's a market analyst there at Signify. Umar, thanks for being with us.
Pleasure to be here, Brian. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. So we are here, it's day 3 of ECR, and kind of giving us some time to see what some of the hot stories and trends are. What are some of the top things that you've seen here in Vienna?
I think the biggest one, and the one that we've seen a lot of news around, is mergers and acquisition, right?
Yeah.
We've seen the Glima announcement, we've seen Radiobotics and Medimaps, and we've also seen Sectra acquire Oxypit. So it's been really busy when it's come to mergers and acquisitions. Last year, we saw a plethora of different mergers throughout the year, acquisitions I should say, and this year it's only continued, and we only expect it to ramp up. I think what's really interesting is that the Glima acquisition, a more of an emerging leader, be acquired by Deep Health, which now gives Deep Health a real foothold over Europe. I think it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, and Gleamer itself had made a couple acquisitions last year, so they had been growing too. Yeah. So it's like the medium-sized fish are getting swallowed up by the big fish.
Exactly, and that works great for Deep Health because Glima last year, like you mentioned, they acquired Pixel and they acquired Keris Medical. By acquiring Pixel, they've gone into neuro, they've gotten into neurodegenerative through MR solutions, another modality, another use case. They also acquired Keris Medical, which allows them to go into lumbar MRI, which further aligns with their strategy in MRI anyway. Yeah. And now that Deep Health have acquired, or Radnet I should say, have acquired Glima, it gives them so many more solutions, so many different use cases, and it can only work wonders for them.
Yeah. Now, what do you think is driving this consolidation? I mean, for a long time there were so many of these small vendors. Do you think it's just kind of part of a natural market evolution?
I think a lot of vendors must see that they have a glass roof. Maybe they don't see it, maybe they know it's there, but at some point they will need to know that in order to evolve, to take that next step forward, to become a part of a more holistic solution, consolidation is inevitable. We saw it with the smaller vendors at first, but now we've seen it with Glima, arguably a much larger vendor. It could only mean that even from a Glima perspective, the next step forward to be part of that larger system, that larger holistic solution, consolidation is needed.
Yeah, and we talked to Dr. Amin Korchi in another interview, and he made a really interesting point, which he said that having to deal with larger AI vendors actually makes it easier for hospitals to acquire AI because they're not dealing with like having to buy point solutions from multiple different vendors. They've just got one company to deal with.
A unified workflow is always going to be better than a disjointed workflow with many different applications, many different things to manage. Even when you look at the imaging IT guys, everything they care about is straight to workflow. Workflow is the most important thing, and often companies talk about enhancements to workflow, but have they really done enough is something that they really need to focus on.
Now, the Signify Research publishes, you guys track venture capital funding, and you had a really interesting report a few weeks ago where you found that venture capital funding bounced back in 2025 pretty significantly, but that money is being concentrated in a smaller number of vendors. What's happening there?
Yeah, as you said, larger amount of money, almost doubled from the year before, but less rounds. Focus much more on those later stage funding rounds with companies who are trying to be those emerging leaders. We see that with Harrison, we see that with ADOC. Both companies very busy, trying to be very innovative with foundation models, with different solutions. We're trying to expand the horizons of what a single ISV can be. Both have got their own respective platforms as well. They're just an example of how investors need to see that next step forward in order to invest and have that sort of confidence behind a company.
Yeah, that's a great point. Any other trends that you're seeing here at ECR?
I think the main trend is focusing on how AI is going to be consumed in the long run. One thing we believe at Signify Research is that there's going to be a convergence with the imaging IT market. Hence, this year we're merging our two reports together. But there's also a convergence with having AI on the edge, having it on the modality, because it will drive the scanner volumes. Therefore, companies now, when you speak to them, they have this at the back of their mind. Who are they going to partner with? Where's their focus going to lie? How do they best align themselves with these companies? Because unfortunately, they are the smaller fish, and that would mean that they can be easily replaceable. So they have to make sure that they meet those requirements to the letter in order to be a long-term value partner with them, and essentially a target for acquisition in maybe a longer run that they all, obviously, as we just mentioned, they should be thinking about.
Some great points. Umar, Ahmed of Signify Research, thanks so much for being with us.
It's been a pleasure.
Signing off from ECR 2026 in Vienna, my name is Brian Casey.